Thank you very much, and thank you to the Tea Party for hosting this forum tonight. It's forums like these that certainly help us get our message out and make sure that people know how we're going to run a contrasting campaign against Representative Tsongas. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. My name is John Golnick. I live in Carlisle, Massachusetts. It's a little town of a little less than 5,000 people. I live there with my wife, Phyllis, who I'm going to be married to for 15 years in September, this coming September, and I have 2 children. I have a son, Zeke, who's 13, and a daughter who's 10. I ran back in 2010. I ran against Nikki Tsongas. We didn't win. We had 96,000 plus votes, which are the most votes that any Republican had gotten in the Merrimack Valley District since 1992. I'm running again because things aren't the same. Things have actually gotten worse. We presided over this country. We've watched this country increase its debt by more than 50% in the last 4 years, yet we've been lectured by the elites in Washington, D.C. that we've gotten to where we are because we live beyond our means. So we're being forced to do more with less, but yet the federal government is doing exactly the opposite. They spent $800 billion to try to create or save 3.5 million jobs. That's at a cost of $225,000 a year. We were told that we were going to take on almost $1 trillion more in debt, but that was going to be okay because we were going to keep unemployment below 8%. Well, we've been at over 8% for 41 months and counting. It hasn't worked. It won't work. We've never borrowed and spent our way out of an economic downturn. President Hoover tried it. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt tried it. The Japanese tried it in the 1990s, and this administration has tried it. It doesn't work. Sustainable jobs are created in the private sector. They always have and always will be, and they're not being created because the small businesses are at siege with the federal government. The federal government has continually looked to increase the size and scope of government by raising the taxes on small business and individuals. How can we fix this? We need to lower the corporate tax rate from 35% to 25%. That seems like a lot, but the average tax rate in the industrial countries across the world is 25%. We need to lower it to 25%. We need to have a 1-year moratorium and review of all regulations. I'm not a laissez-faire capitalist, but regulations increase the cost of doing business. And when we increase the cost of doing businesses, they don't bear that on their backs on their own. They pass it down to the working men and women of this district, of this Commonwealth, and of this country. 2, 3, we need to repeal Obamacare. This is one of the biggest regulations, and it is a job killer, make no mistake about it. Here in the 3rd district, actually we aren't in it, but in the 3rd district, there are at least 3 medical device manufacturers, and there's a 2.3% medical device tax on these medical manufacturers. It's going to cost each company $100 million a year. It's $100 million. It isn't going to be used for hiring. It's $100 million. It isn't going to be used for innovation. As a matter of fact, one of these companies is doing all their innovating over in Europe right now. Isn't that a shame? This is the cradle of entrepreneurship, and yet now they're innovating over in Europe. This isn't going to be an easy race. We saw what happened last year in 2010. We saw how we were sitting on the beach and a big wave came over everybody. There wasn't anyone who won their races except for the state reps. We need to make sure we preserve the state reps. We need to make sure that we try to add to the Senate, but we're going to need help in this race. It's a Democratic Party machine. They're going to outspend us. They're going to outraise us. And we're going to rely on people to help us. Now, I'll tell you a little bit about our campaign. We have an office in Westford. It's the same place it was last cycle, right down the road from Kimball's Ice Cream. We're making telephone calls, over 3,000 a week. We're knocking on doors. We're knocking on over 1,000 doors a week. And we're not just going to Republicans. We can't win the race with just Republican help. We need to approach underruleds. We need to approach softies. These are social conservatives and Second Amendment Democrats. So we're working hard. We're raising money. We were outspent last time by Representative Tsongas, 7-1. She spent $23.70 on every vote. We spent $4.07. No matter who you decide to back in this campaign, get behind a candidate. You know, it's very un-American to ask for help. We like to pull ourselves up by our own bootstraps, but we can't do this alone. Get behind somebody. Make one more phone call. Knock one more door. Tell one more friend. Send emails. Send people to our websites. Because we're going to have a sea change this year and we have a great opportunity because we're running out of time. And people always say to me, they say, John, you seem like you're in a hurry. You talk a little too fast. I hope I'm not talking too fast tonight. But the reason I am talking fast is because we're running out of time. We are running out of time. And we hear all these facts and figures, and I love facts and figures and data. That's what I do. But the one thing that we're at risk of losing is American exceptionalism. What is American exceptionalism? It means that no matter who you are, what your last name is, who your parents are, where you were born, whether you're rich or whether you're poor, if you work hard and you get some help, you can accomplish anything. You can run for Congress twice. And how do we convey that from one generation to the next? We make sure that we leave this country a better place for our kids and our grandkids. A little bit better than the way we found it, with a little more opportunity. And I've made a vow to myself, just selfishly, that I'm not going to be the first generation to leave this place a worse place off for my kids and my grandkids. I ask for your help. I ask for your support. If you want to find out more about our campaign, go to my website, www.johngolnick.com. I'll be around for a little bit. And again, thank you very, very much for allowing me to share a little bit of your evening with me.